James Harden is potentially killing off what's left of Russell Westbrook's career. Hey, do you think your holidays got off to a crappy start? Rui Hachimura had a broken head. And oh, by the way, more names have been added to the Dodgers list of players that they allegedly desire. Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelinos Morning Report. So it is November 25th, 2023. I'm back in Salt Lake City for one more full day. Kind of can't wait for this contract to end. It's not a terrible place to be, but a lot of bad things happened to me while I was out here. And frankly, this channel keeps me happy. So that's why we're here, talking LA sports. Do you like to be in the know about LA sports? Then clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means, comments, because it is for the greater good. So before we go through the news and notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Look, it was kind of an awkward day for the Angelinos yesterday, unless you play for the LA Kings. Kevin Fiala scored twice, and the Kings beat the living hell out of Anaheim 5-2. The Kings are 9-0-0 on the road, if that seems like a pretty decent start, which, by the way, it is. Meanwhile, the Pelicans, New Orleans, they take out the Clippers 116-106. It snaps the Clippers' three-game winning streak. We got some Clipper news we need to get to. And Paul George scored 34 points. By the way, Oklahoma edged 23rd ranked USC 72-70. This is probably going to knock the Trojans out of the top 25. Boogie Ellis and Kobe Johnson each scored 16. Meanwhile, today, pretty good slate, I must tell you. Cal is at UCLA. That's at 7:30. Finishes off the Bruins football regular season. We still need to find out which bowl game is going to take them. The 4-game road trip for the Lakers begins today. They are at Cleveland starting at 4. Dallas is playing the Clippers at Crypto.com Arena at 7:30. And Montreal is playing at Crypto versus the Kings, 1 o'clock. But let's get to the news. In that loss that the Clippers had last night, you know, Russell Westbrook only played 14 minutes, scored only 8 points. And I bring that up because this guy's been a great soldier for the Clippers. He really has. His reputation was in tatters after he left the Lakers. He winds up being with the Clippers, and he's like, guys, I'll just do whatever it takes to help you guys win. I need to rehabilitate myself, but more than that, I just want to be a winner again. And that's nice. That is being a good soldier. Even if you're a Russell Westbrook hater, and I get it, that he's had a divisive career, he did put everything aside for the good of the team. And he's committed career suicide in the process. I mean, it is just not pretty. 14 minutes last night, 8 points. And all of his production, all of it, dropping like a rock, dropping like somebody kind of nudged Rosie O'Donnell off the side of the Empire State Building. You can pretty much pin it on James Harden. And I know I've been beating that trade like a dead horse. Can you blame me? We had a big James Harden was basically a jerk to force his way out of multiple cities. James Harden's never won a championship. Just because he was at one point one of the most unstoppable offensive players in the game, people were like, yeah, we'll just throw him on a roster, give him another shot. It's going to turn things around. It just tears teams apart. And in this case, it's tearing Russell Westbrook's career down straight to hell right with it. Ever since the Clippers wound up acquiring James Harden, their production dropped, or his production dropped. Yes, they had a 3-game winning streak. Before that, they had a 6-game losing streak. The two, they don't publicly hate each other. They can't play together on the same roster. They tried it in Oklahoma City. The Thunder were a decent team, but James Harden was the young player. He was the one coming off the bench. Westbrook was a proven commodity. Then they tried it again over in Houston a couple of years ago. Do you remember that? When the two were on to get the same team at Houston, the other team scored, when they were on the court at the same time, the other team scored 15 points more per game. The two of them together put the Rockets at a statistical disadvantage, and there's a reason for it. Harden needs certain types of players around him. He always did. He needs snipers, people who would just kind of line up around the outside of the rim and just jack up open threes because Harden draws a double team, or people who really grind out on defense. Russell Westbrook is not a three-point sniper. He's somebody who drives the rim. He's a mid-range guy. He's not a three-point sniper. And by the way, Russell Westbrook will try to play defense. He's just not particularly excellent at it. So for those two reasons, Russell Westbrook has seen his time being cut. His touches being cut. This is his reward for being a good team player. And I realize for some of you who don't like Russell Westbrook no matter what, you're going to enjoy that. Me? I hate it. I hate the fact that somebody did something for the good for the good of the betterment of the team. And because they acquired the wrong type of player, Russell Westbrook's in his mid-30s. Where's he going to go if the Clippers say, we got to trade this guy? Nobody's going to take him. Unless it's for some sort of like massive salary cap relief in a year. And by the way, I'm not saying it'll never work. I'm just saying it damn sure hasn't worked yet. And we have a long history that suggests it won't work. More Clippers news. You might remember how Kawhi Leonard, how everybody in Central Texas hates his guts, right? Because he's basically a jerk and he forced his way out of San Antonio, wins a title with Toronto, comes to LA. You might find this hard to believe. You might not have a lot of faith in the educational system of the state of Texas. Maybe they don't read and write, but they remember them some. They got some good memories. So they were booing Kawhi, and Spurs coach Greg Popovich actually took the mic and scolded his own crowd over booing a former Spur. They asked him a couple of days later if he had any regrets over having done that, and Popovich isn't going to say that. He's not going to say he regrets that. The reaction from social media or getting booed in the court. Quote, I felt sorry for him. I was embarrassed for our city, for our organization, unquote. Now look, I bring all this up. When I brought the story up to you the first time, I mentioned how the NBA has this problem. They have coaches who think that they're Rhodes Scholars in ethics, right? That Moses brought down the Ten Commandments up from Mount Sinai, but Greg Popovich was the one who polished the tablets before handing them over. Like Greg Popovich is closer to God than any one of us, holier than us, right? And he's not the only one who does this kind of crap. He's not the only one who loves to tell us how to live our lives. You're a basketball coach. You're entitled to your own opinion, just like I'm entitled to mine. Your opinion should not have an effect on how I live my life. And by the way, like I said, he's not the only one. Guess which NBA coach thinks Greg Popovich was absolutely right? Bonus points if you said Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr. He absolutely backed him up. Quote, booing should be selective. I think there should be a general rule that if a player helps your franchise win a championship, he should never be booed in your building, unquote. That is a guy who has spent half of his career telling people to give Steph Curry the ball and the other half of his career telling all of us how to live our lives. I swear to God. Because I tell you something, Coach Kerr, if you really believe that, maybe you should have grabbed the mic and lectured your own fans who booed Andre Iguodala when he returned to the Golden State he was playing as a member of the Memphis Grizzlies. You might find this hard to believe, but in the ultra-liberal enclave of San Francisco, California, they like booing former players too. But I digress. The upshot of this, I don't tell any of you guys what to say. Don't tell me who to boo. Rui Hachimura is out for at least a week, probably indefinitely, with a nasal fracture. We don't know when it happened. We just know it happened during the third quarter of the Lakers' last game. He had a medical procedure done to it. We don't know if that meant surgical, but he had a medical procedure done. He did not join the team for the 4-game road trip that starts today. And he now joins Jared Vanderbilt, who hasn't played this year, Gabe Vincent, who has missed the last 3 weeks with a swollen knee, as opposed to stealing vital human body parts, a swollen knee. And Cam Reddish might be back tonight, but for the most part, you're looking at potentially 4 quality Lakers who are not going to get any playing time tonight. And if you're wondering why LeBron James keeps playing minutes, bingo. The Lakers, by the way, still can't shoot threes. Stop me if you've heard that before. They are 26th in the league in three-point percentage. Now, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they were telling the scribes that those shots are open, so it's only a matter of time. But to be honest with you, the stats actually say otherwise. So is this a schematic problem that Darvin Ham has to solve? Los Angeles generates 14.6 wide open threes per game. Yes, they have a stat like that. What is a wide open three? It's when you shoot, somebody is at least 6 feet away. The Lakers are second worst in the league at that. So they're shooting threes. They're just not sinking them because somebody's always in their face. And by the way, even stranger, the shooters in the NBA will tell you that 3-pointers at the corner are actually the easiest shot to make if you're a point shooter. The Lakers are only hitting 25% of their corner threes. So there's that. I'm a big fan of former Major League Baseball general manager Jim Bowden. I think he still has his ear to the ground and puts up names in his column without just randomly throwing them against the wall. So he listed 3 additional potential targets for the Dodgers during the offseason. When I'm at home, I have a big whiteboard full of list of players the Dodgers allegedly want, and now I think it's already stretched up to 34. He has added the names Jorge Soler, reliever Josh Hader, last seen with the Padres, Michael Brantley, and Shane Bieber, a starting pitcher. So I'll double check the list, but it's now swollen up to 34 potential Dodger targets, like they're going to literally rebuild their team over the next month and a half. We'll see who actually has common sense, by the way. Cooper Kupp will be playing for the Rams Sunday at Arizona. According to Sean McVay, Kupp had apparently a great week in practice. Very mobile, very fluid, blah, 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 blah. And CBS Sports is really high on USC basketball freshman Isaiah Collier. They put him atop their freshman rankings. They have a list of freshman college basketball players. He is at the top. They said that they knew that he was going to be a wonderful facilitator for the USC offense, but that his athleticism and his scoring has been a tremendous surprise. The dude is averaging 21 points per game. Now, he's not by any means a completed work in progress, but they do suggest that Collier could be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft if he keeps this up. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Is Russell Westbrook's career about to flatline thanks to James Harden? Do you think that any of these 34 names that I've detailed over the last few weeks are going to wind up in Dodger Blue? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelinos. We talk LA sports here every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelinos is a Corte El Queso production. Take care.